Hello and welcome back to Spoonful of Jelly. My name is Lauren and today we are going to be canning up some pork roast. If you saw my last grocery haul, you would have noticed that I picked up a almost 9.5 pound pork roast from the grocery store. And I was able to cut that bad boy right in half, and we ate on that for the last couple of days. Now the other half I'm going to get canned up into pint jars so that we can eat throughout the winter in various ways. So I wanted to bring you guys along since I have to do this anyway. And what better way is to show one of the few ways you can, or many ways I guess, that you can can up a pork roast. So come on, let's get started. Okay, so in this bowl is the other half. It's quite large. And this is a 4-quart bowl. So I did not measure when I cut it. You ran to the restroom. So I'm going to use a glass cutting board. It makes a wonderful sound, so I probably will block it out when I go to start cutting. Yes. Move out the camera. Don't hit the box. Go around. Okay. So I will go ahead and get this pulled up. I'm going to chop it and start putting it back into the bowl. Any large amount of fat I will trim off because that's going to affect the seal. As fat heats up, it liquefies and it doesn't quite turn to liquid as much as it is oil. And that oil will seep underneath your lid and it will affect your seal, meaning it won't seal. Oh my gosh. Okay, I wanted to tell you guys one of the main reasons why hubby and I decided to can meat a year ago. So last summer, 2022 summer, business had dipped. It often dips in the summer for my husband as a therapist. And so we were trying to figure out exactly when was the best time to spend money, especially in the summertime, because people want to take vacations and go places and do things. And we just did not want to overspend. And one of the biggest areas that people often overspend on is groceries. You guys know as much as I do that your grocery bill has skyrocketed over the past year and a half. But if you were to peel back, you probably notice that you spend a lot on groceries every year. It's because food is consumable and it goes in one end and technically goes out the other, both financially and physically. So having this canned meat on the shelf last summer, 2022 summer, was a lifesaver because we pulled these cans of pork and chicken and beef off the shelf and we were able to make tacos and burrito bowls. Ooh, sorry. Please don't throw the ball in the house.
didn't mean to. I kicked it.
All right, don't kick the ball in the house, please. Find something else to do. Lord have mercy, y'all. Y'all got boys? So the one main benefit there was in canning this meat was that we did not have to worry about having some sort of protein in the summer months when financial times are short or shorter than normal. And then for summer 2023, we knew then just to be prepared, just in case there was more financial shortages, more food shortages, or anything of the such, to have some canned meat on the shelf. So now that we're 2 years out, we're going on the second summer rather, from the initial problem that we had, I know that every single fall and winter, to go ahead and make sure that there's a certain amount of protein on the shelf and certain amount of fruits and veggies on the shelf. This process, guys, is trial and error. So if you're a brand new canner, you never canned before, or you never preserved food for the winter months before, it is trial and error, trust me. So all the pork has been cut up, and this bowl back here has all the fat trimmings. I will not get rid of that, guys. That is not going to go in the trash. It's not perfect to can, but you can take this bit by bit, saute some and some garlic and some oils and get some fat rendering out of it, and you can make tons of soups with it. If you don't want to eat the fat, you can scoop it out and but get some of the liquefaction of the fat. So what are we going to do with this pork? I plan on leaving it plain. Yes, plain as in I'm just going to salt it. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle as much salt as I desire over it. And then I'm going to give it all a good mixing with my hands probably. No, let's do a spoon. Unfortunately, you cannot taste this. What you can do is you can eventually brown a piece off if you want to see if it has the saltiness you're looking for. But since I salt my food along the way, whatever I'm cooking, I'm going to rewarm this, taste it, and then add more salt if I need to. Now we're going to do a method called raw packing. And it's exactly what it says. We're going to pack this product into a mason jar raw. If you don't like that concept, or if you want it to be uniform square pieces, you can brown this meat, preferably in a cast iron pan or your oven, and get it started just enough for it to hold its shape, and then can it. A lot of these pieces we want to shred up and use as pulled pork sandwiches or pulled pork tacos. So we're going to pack raw. A few of these we're going to go ahead and brown up. The browning pieces are perfect if you wanted to do like a quick kebab, because they will keep their shape a little better. And then you can slide it through on a skewer, grill it off really quick. Just to get some char taste on it, and spread your favorite sauces on it. Because they are still soft from being canned in the processor, we don't want to do too many of those. Matter of fact, I'm only going to aim for 1 jar worth. So I'm going to go ahead and get my cast iron pan on. Okay. I'm not going to add any oil because there's fat already in this meat. So I do not want it to get overly fat and oily, and then my seal won't work. All right, that should be enough to go ahead and fill 1 jar worth. The rest of this will go into some jars. So let's get those clean jars pulled over here. So yesterday I let the jars cool completely and let them just sit naturally on the wood. I didn't bother them, and I wanted to go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, there is lots of like broth at the bottom. If you give it a shake, you'll see it. This fat caps pretty much just sits around the edge because there is meat above that fat cap. This is the jar of the meat that I sauteed, so you can tell the difference. It's still more liquidy because it's sitting in broth. The pieces are still more uniform. They still are holding their shape. You can see the shapes in the raw pack method, but I'm pretty sure when I go to pull this out, the sear on it will have tightened up the fibers of the meat. This is very technical, right? So we will be able to use this a little different than we'll use this. But nonetheless, they are plainly seasoned, so I can add any flavor I want. If you are not a canner, you're probably looking at this video like, well, this doesn't suit me. Well, actually it does, because this is roughly a pound worth of meat. The whole old phrase is pint is a pound all year round. You can have used quart-sized bags to section off all this meat for yourself and throw it into your freezer. The benefit of being in jars is that if we ever lose power, which for some reason where we live, we lose power on the smallest thing. The wind blows hard and then power cuts off for 15 minutes. It's crazy. But at least we will have something to eat in that short period of time, especially since we lost power this summer in the middle of me cooking dinner. How wonderful was that? So I hope you guys give this a try and come back, because we have some more canning, because that's what we're about over here, is putting food into these glass jars and enjoying them all year long. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it below. I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.